body, speech, and mind held in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Ba nghiệp lắng thanh tịnh, gửi lòng theo tiếng chuông. Nguyện người nghe tỉnh thức vượt thoát nẻo đau buồn.
Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. One more time. One more time. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as a dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. Dear friends, I hope everyone is enjoying the tea and the cookies. So again, please continue to pass around the tea. Again, if it's empty, you can just flip the lid in case anybody would like more tea. Good evening, my dear friends, brothers and sisters. First of all, I would like to welcome you to our Friday meditation session. Today is the February the 3rd, 2017. We just celebrate the Lunar New Year last Friday night. It's been a week from now. I'm so happy to meet a lot of new friends, new faces, and also many old friends especially Min's family. We know each other since we were very young at the Buddhist youth group. And after a long time, each of us have different things to do. And now I'm very happy to see them come back to join the practice with us. In the past few weeks, I met them, but I haven't had a chance to express my happiness. And you know that I like Brother Lawrence. Whenever he asks the community to share your happiness in the week, or in the day, because this is one of the practice too. In the Buddhist practice, we have Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Buddha is our teacher. Dharma is the way, is the teachings. Sangha is the community. So what we call the triple gems, or the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Dharma can be understood in many ways. Any way that brings you to happiness, that is Dharma. Dharma is the way, but some way will bring you. In this life there are so many ways, but if you take the wrong way, you may arrive to the wrong destination, and you may be disappointed or suffer by the wrong way you choose. So therefore, the word mindfulness is like the light that we all should have in hand to shine clearly every single way we choose. Sometimes we live in this present moment, but we totally forgot that we are in the now and in the here. We are in the here and in the now, but we was pulled back by the past, or we pull forward by the future. Very rarely we awake and drowning ourselves in the present moment. The song we just sang, breathing in, breathing out, I am blooming as a flower. I am solid as a mountain. I am fresh as a dew. And we think just a song, but actually this is the prayer. Of course it's a song, but if you have the eyes of mindfulness, if you have an idea of mindfulness in you, and you can realize and you can recognize these words are similar to the ways to bring you to happiness. This is the Dharma. For instance, if you are practicing meditation at home, sometimes you follow your breath and you lose yourself, you lose your concentration. And this song can become an object for you to meditate on. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am blooming, you breathing in. As a flower, you breathing out. I am fresh, you breathing in. As a dew, you breathing out. Especially when you are in a bad mood, when you're angry, and then you can sing this song, you can bring this song and breathe along with the lyrics. And automatically the song has the capacity, has the power to heal us, to cool us down, to make us feel much better. I visit a lot of patients in the hospitals, and they complain a lot about their pain, their physical pain. And I told them that every time when you are in the pain, don't just focus to the pain, but you can put your hand on the place where you are in the pain in that moment, and you breathe, and you comfort your painful. Breathing in. Let's say if you have if you hurt on your shoulder, you can put your hand on your shoulder and you breathing in, I send my love to my shoulder. Breathing out, I send my care to my shoulder. Why? Because in the past we did not use the shoulder right enough. That's why our shoulder got pain, got suffer. There was a lady who misunderstanding about the practice. She told herself and her family that if you have a toothache, you better not go to the dentist. If anything on your body got pain, do not get any healing, do not get any treatment. Why? Because if you treat your body, then that means you betray your ancestor, your parents. Your ancestor, your parents give you this physical body. Just leave it like that. Don't touch, even it's pain or it gets sick or whatever. So one day she met a monk. She said, Master, if I have a toothache, do I have any sins if I go to the dentist? He said, yes, if you go to the dentist, there is a sin but small. But if you leave it like that, it's a major sin. And she says, why? He said, if you go to the dentist take out your tooth, you just paying in a minute or in an hour. But if you leave it like that, it's paying forever. It's more sins. This is the way that the monk want to give her a lecture. The way she understanding is not correct. If there is a pain, you should realize and you treat it right away. So when you're in a bad mood, when you're angry, make sure you realize and you accept, I am angry. Because only when you're able to realize you are in what kind of situation, in order to find the right way to heal, to calm, and to make us feel better. So the song was written by the one who practiced, not just a musician, but this musician, this one who composed the words. He must be a very, very practiced practitioner, because he can use the words to heal. I am fresh as a dew. So when you sing like that, you feel that you are the flower, you are the dew, you are the mountain, you are very solid. And then that is the way to heal you, to help you to come. In our tradition, we always remind each other, on the New Year Day, you must be very careful on all the words you use, on all the way you behave, because you cannot mistreat anyone. You cannot say anything to make people feel uncomfortable by your words. So you watch out very carefully the words you use, your action, your behavior. And I feel that we don't have to wait until once a year to do this. If it's possible, we can take this as a New Year every day. So if you can practice this as a New Year Day, the same as the New Year Day, then you become a very practical, a very mindfulness practitioner, very mindful. Every morning, every day, we are more careful about the words we use. We are more careful about the way we behave to someone around us. I met a lady from Calgary last Saturday. Maybe 4 or 5 hours later, I heard she was in the hospital because on the way home, they got car accident. And I supposed to fly to Regina tomorrow for a New Year celebration there. I have to delay my flight I will go to Calgary to visit her for the last time before I can depart to Regina. You can see how fragile of life, how short of life. Then when we are aware of that, we try not to mistreat ourselves and mistreat people around us, especially our loved one. So what is the purpose of mindfulness? What is the purpose of meditation? Just to light up, to make us more fresher, to make us become a person who lives but full of awareness. Only when you have enough awareness, you can bring the right things to your body, to your mind, and you also can bring the right thing to your loved one. This year is the year of the rooster. And you know, the Buddha gave us one example about the rooster. The Buddha said, what can you learn and practice like a rooster? Usually when the rooster takes something from the ground, they look at it carefully, and this one can eat, this one can take. The rooster will take in without any judgment. And the Buddha said, we are all need to learn like the rooster. When you pick up something, don't just swallow yet. You must look and reflect. Is this the right food for my body? If yes, you can bring in, because some food may damage your body. Every day, we are also in touch with many things around. We are happy or we are not happy according to what we look, what we hear, what we smell, what we touch, and what we feel. Is that correct? We never stop talking. We never stop judgment. But that's why we always look outside more than coming back and reflect to ourselves. When you step into this hall, your eyes contact. Wow, it's beautiful. When you look at something, we just pick up right away. When you step in, the smell of this hall badly, you say, what is the smell? So that's why every day we're working a lot. The mind never stops working. Always have things to declare, things to judge, things to talk, things to discuss. From where? From the six senses. The eyes, the ears, the tongue, the nose, the body. Later on, after this meditation class, you can look on right in the center of the altar. You see there was a happy Buddha, a big fat old monk who sit around with the 5 little kids. What is that 5 little kids symbolize for? Our 5 senses. The eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ear, and the body. Every day, after we wake up and these 5 senses start to work, we touch, we discuss. Oh, this is soft, this is hard, this is cold, this is hot. Never stop. When we smell something, we judge. When we hear something, we judge. Very rarely we take things as they are. We always, this tea is not as good as the tea I took last month. This cookie is not as good as the one I took last week. We don't take things as they are. That's why we continue to suffer. You want to be happy? Just take things as they are. That's why these 5 little boys surround the happy Buddha. A happy Buddha is us. We're supposed to be enjoy many things around us. But why we cannot enjoy? Because we have so many things to judge. We don't take things as they are. So what is the mindfulness help us to live and practice? Take things as they are. When you drink this cup of tea, and you just enjoy this cup of tea, because this is jasmine tea. You cannot say, oh, jasmine is not as nice as peppermint. Two things are different. Peppermint is peppermint. Jasmine is jasmine. Why we take these things out and compare? And this is the trouble. The problem created from there. We don't know jasmine has its own taste. Peppermint has its own taste. Why we have to compare? Oh, my son is not as good as your son. Your son and the other son is different. But we always have this in mind, in life. That's why we cannot have peace. We cannot have happiness. So we go back to the song. What is real? What is true? Something you call real, it is real. Something you call true is real true. Maybe it's true today, it's maybe wrong tomorrow. Maybe it's true today, but it can be false tomorrow. Because depends on different situation, depends on different corner, different way to reflect. If we have this kind of understanding, what happened? We can feel there is space deep inside of us. We live in the condition of freedom, but we are not free at all. Why we are not free? Because we have lots of expectation. You have to do this for me. You have to be like this. You have to be like this. Why? Because we ask people to be exactly what we want. But if somebody else expects us the same that we expect them, and we will say, I have the right to do on my own. So we only know our way, our fact, but we do not try to reflect to see the others. When you're able to liberate yourself from all kind of judgment and attachment, and you can see there is space deep inside of you. You can accept people easier. You can embrace someone easier. If you're unable to embrace them all, but at least within your arm, within your capacity. In the past, we are unable to embrace anyone. Even us, we don't know ourselves. That's why I invite all of us. Take 10 minutes each day from your busy schedule. Because these 10 minutes will help a lot for your whole day. We have 24 hours a day. You only need to take 10 minutes off to take good care for the other more than 23 hours back. A single word, you almost speak up. But if you stop on time, you can save your whole life happiness. Because sometimes just if you speak up this word along with your anger, you may destroy all your happiness. All your time that you try to build up, your happiness. But you may destroy in a minute. I can give you an example. For those who are come here this week, you will realize that this meditation hall is different than usual. Because we have the flower trees, the banners, the lanterns, many decoration. Because it's New Year. It's a Lunar New Year. So we take like 2 weeks to prepare. But you know what happened? We need only 1 hour to clean up everything. You may spend a whole day to cook, but you only need 1 hour to finish all the dishes you cook. So we may take long time to build up happiness, but just only one single word, one single behavior or action, we may destroy everything. When we are, the Buddha gave us an example. If the boat has a hole, little hole, it's not sunk the boat yet. But if you do not try to plug or to fix that hole, you will have full water. Your boat will be floating. Same thing. If there is a little mistake, if there is a little problem, you do not try to help, you do not try to fix, there will be a big mess. And this, I try to give many different examples for young people. Sometimes they just, add tiny thing wrong. The whole math will be wrong. So we must be careful since the very first step, so we can have the answer with all, the steps up to the answer. So Dharma, not only the teachings of the Buddha, but Dharma can be anything that able to help you to overcome your suffering, your difficult moment. For example, if the time you're angry, following your breath is a beautiful Dharma, beautiful way, because only when you're able to come back to your own breath, you take good care for your own breath, that is the time for you to calm yourself down, to reflect, to calming yourself, and to save the situation. To me, all the songs we sing in the group, like happiness is here and now, or I have arrived, I am home, breathing in, breathing out, they all a good lecture, because sometimes we need to sing this in order to refresh ourselves. When we lift up the teacup, don't just drink it. We need to put close to our nose and let the fragrance come through the nose. And then you slowly drink the tea and let your tongue, your throat taste the tea. So this is the treatment. We treat our nose by the fragrance of the tea. We treat the throat, the tongue by the taste of the tea. And we also hold the cup in two hands in order to appreciate this small cup that help us to hold some tea, some water to drink. So if we gently send our appreciation to every tiny single thing we use in daily life, you will realize that you have a full day of happiness. When I turn around, turn to my left, and I see Jason. Are you Jason, right? He's not comfortable with his legs, and he lift up, and he have another cushion to two cushions add up. He can sit a Japanese style, make him feel better. So if we touch the cushion, and we say, "Oh, I appreciate, because without the cushion, my legs will be more hurtful, and because of this cushion, I feel much better." You see, even just a cushion you still can send the appreciation. And then if we live with the idea of appreciation every day, and what happened to us? Everyone around us, they are so meaningful, they are so beautiful. Every single thing around us, they become miracle. In Buddhism, we call Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is a great being. Anything that comes to you, that help you miraculously, that's become Bodhisattva. Even the teapot, the teacup, the cushion, the mat, the curtain, anything. Last 2 weeks, the temple this whole area have no water for 1 day. And then you realize how uncomfortable that we live without water. Usually we just turn on the tap, we have hot water, cold water, that's why we waste. And we never have any appreciation for the water. So 1 day we have no water is not a bad idea. To let us know that how much important water. So sometimes we have some problem, small or major, with the eyes of mindfulness. That problem now become a lecture, miraculously. So things itself have no happiness or suffering. Just depends on how we view things. This Friday class itself have no happiness or suffering. If you like to come, you're happy. Your mother forcing you to come, your husband forcing you to come, your wife forcing you to come. You sit here, you see people smiling, happy, but you say, I wonder, there's nothing to be happy, but why they can smile like that? Like you never have any vegetarian food before. If you have a full day of vegetarian, this food have no taste. I want the real one, real chicken, real pork, real beef. But with us, become vegetarian is something very miracle, because I can feel the light, the freshness every time when I take vegetarian. So staying at temple, quiet by myself, I'm happy. Like Lawrence. For those who drive to West Lock Meditation Center, it's become something, very hard for them because it's a long drive. They may fall asleep and so lonely, But Lawrence, he enjoyed. He enjoyed the way to drive there. He enjoyed the way to drive back. So from here to West Lock, the road itself has no happiness or suffering. If you like to do it, you feel so happy with it. If you don't like to do it, even you in a very happy occasion, that place still becomes something very difficult for you. Do you get that idea? So again, I try to introduce you the practicing of mindfulness in many ways. And to me, mindfulness is like the master key. Can open all kind of doors in one building. Same thing. If you gain enough mindfulness, you can be happy with any situation, with any way that people treat you, because you can see differences, facts of life. If everything the same, you may get bored. So it's good to have different dishes on the table when we have a meal. Then life have different tastes. That is also interesting. A lotus must grow in the mud. The lotus cannot grow in your sand or soil or anything, it must grow from the mud. Mud symbolizes for problems. Lotus symbolizes for your successful. That's why the Buddha sits on lotus, walk on lotus. No lotus, no mud, no lotus. No problems, no successful. Because we cannot learn anything from difficulties. So the light of mindfulness is very important. So try to take time to sit 10 minutes today, or even within a week. Maybe in a week you don't find any miracle. Your mind still runs so much. Your mind still wanders a lot. But don't worry. If you realize your mind wanders a lot, that means you start to have mindfulness. You start to have mindfulness to realize that you are not mindful. When you say, how come I have so much problem within me? Do not hate yourself. It's good that you realize that you have lots of problems in you. The same as I realize that I have lot of physical sickness, then you will start to looking for treatments. If there is different kind of sickness, there will be different kind of treatments. Don't worry, be happy. Is that help you to understand more about the practice? And the way Lawrence invite you to share your happiness, same thing every day. We must focus to positive more than negatives. We always have both, positive and negatives. But think, if you focus to the negative more, what happened to your physical and your mind? If we focus to something positive, what happened to the mind and the physical body? Difference. If you take things as they are, and if you expect things as that things you want, two different feelings. There was a lady who always complained about her son. She asked him to do something and he never do it. I asked her, how do you invite him to do? She said, I told him, you have to do this for me before I'm home. You have to do this before you leave. And when I come back home, he didn't do anything. I asked her, maybe you can change the way to invite him to do some work. Honey, can you please do this for me before you leave? Can you please do this before I come back home? You just change the word. You make people have different feeling, then things will be done better. So the art here, the technique here is be mindful on the way you insist people to do something. If you say, you have to do, then you say, can you please do this? Just same thing, you need to speak up, but use different word, make people feel different. That means you need their help. If you say you have to, people feel that you have expectation on them. But if you say that, can you please do this, then they can feel different. This is the art of living, the art of mindfulness, the art of communication. Thank you for your coming, your attendance. I hope that you have a good weekend. And next Friday, we also have our regular session at 6:30. Hope to see you regularly coming here to practice with us.